All stand.
Because we're going on the total. The total is 149.
All rise, please. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Archie.
All right, sorry about that. Go ahead, do a roll call, please.
Councilwoman Beck.
Here.
Councilman Gallagher.
Here.
Vice President Mixer.
He's here.
He's here. President Reza.
I'm here.
Say your uncle. Councilwoman Arlott. Here. Councilwoman Holland. Here. Councilman Corey.
Here.
Councilman Wozniak.
Here.
Mayor Flick.
Here.
Thank you.
All right. All right, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna do, Ms. Nancy Reese, can you speak first, please?
Oh, sure.
You here? Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do you real quick and do it going to.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to sign up beforehand, so. All I wanted to talk about is that our April Fool's Day's coming up again. You're number 4, so we're pretty excited, right?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, as you know, always I come in front and tell you guys about it, and I think because we've been doing this for so long, we have a lot of the pieces already. We just need help with our short little parade. So the plan is, for at least for right now, to have the parade from Chartiers from the bank building, you know, the old coffee shop. I don't even know what it is now. The trestle, just down to the Roxy and Field, the old McDonald's field, from like 2 to 2:30. So I hope you all can come. You know me, I dress up.
Just like always, if you need something shut down, let us know.
Yeah, so that's all we want. So, I wasn't sure if we needed approval for that. I know we'll probably be talking with the police department and everything on that. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that you come, because it's an awesomely good time. Last year we had live bands. We're going to do that again this year, I believe. We're working on that. So it's a lot of fun.
So we do give you approval. We do need approval. So whenever you have an official, do we need an official ask, or is this her?
It is an official ask. Yeah.
This is an official ask. Okay. So are we able to vote on that?
What's the date?
April 5th.
April 5th.
Saturday. And what time are you asking for road closure?
Just from 2 to 2:30.
And probably rolling closure, not permanent closure.
Just like follow.
Well, we have to wait till March to make the decision because it's not on the agenda.
Okay. Well, that's my fault.
I do apologize. So March gives us enough time, so we'll put it on March's agenda, and
And I believe you all have our backs.
Yeah, I'm sure the answer will be the same as always.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Make it official, should she put it in writing?
Yeah, if you don't mind, give us.
Oh, you want me to send you an email?
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Will do. Thank you.
Sorry, I did a little different to the people speaking. I apologize. Guest speaker, McKees Rock CDC monthly report. Hello, Taris.
Mr. President, good evening, everyone. Thanks again, everyone, for the opportunity to speak. Just a few updates. I want to start off by thanking Councilwoman Holland and congratulating her for joining our board of directors. We are very honored. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
We are so fortunate to have you, Councilwoman Holland, and excited to have you representing the borough and strengthening our partnership as we work together on so many good things. Speaking of which, the Streetscape plan is continuing through design and engineering. Thanks to Councilperson Gallagher for participating in that. And right now, where we are is that the final line and grade plan is done and is now going through a review with PennDOT. We're waiting on some comments from them. So that kind of gives the layout to the lane widths and different things in that configuration. And once we get those comments back from PennDOT and have a chance to talk to them, we'll be able to move on to the next phase of the design. So that's an update on that project. We had a call with Friends of the Riverfront, and for those of you who were on these, I think Zoom meeting last year, we were talking about waterfront plan, and then in May we did a walkthrough of the waterfront from behind Hollywood all the way around to the Ohio, and talked about possibilities for activating that with trails and other recreation opportunities. Friends of the Riverfront has been working on our behalf since then. They have some staff people now that are going to be dedicated to this, and they're going to be working on funding applications to get the plan funded, and hopefully get to work on that this year. So stay tuned, more to come on that.
Taris,
yes?
How far is that going to extend? And you said from Hollywood to where?
Yeah, so they actually are taking a bigger look. They're like, let's look at the whole waterfront that, you know, is around the whole border of the borough. You know, they mentioned actually going as far as the Native American burial mound for consideration. Again, there's obstacles, you know, and I think for a lot of us, the primary focus is the downtown area, but they're gonna look at the whole thing.
Okay, that's
You
cool.
know, and obviously that's going to be a very inclusive community venture, so all of you will have the chance to participate in that. So again, we're at the early stages. They've identified a couple funding sources for this, and we'll keep you posted as it moves along.
Thank you.
Sure.
Well, what kind of financial impact would that have for us?
It will have a huge financial impact, Councilman Mixter. Waterfront recreation has shown to be a major tool for economic development, not only in Pittsburgh, but throughout the country. These are the type of activities that will attract people, attract businesses, attract potential residents to the community, will add vitality to our downtown. It's a frankly, much needed amenity that we haven't taken advantage of. So the economic impact of waterfront recreation is immense.
I know Coriopolis just got $5 million for the waterfront.
Oh, really? Okay, I did not know
That
that.
was a couple months ago.
Okay, well, we'll have to look into that and see what source they use for that. That's really exciting. That's good to hear. Yeah, thank you for that. So other things going on Thursday, we have Leadership Pittsburgh coming to the community they do this every year, they've been doing it for some years, where they will come and look at different organizations and they'll bring their class of upcoming leaders in the Pittsburgh area to come and learn about a community. They're coming here on Thursday at 12:45 to our offices on Yunker Street. If any of you would like to come and represent the borough, you're more than welcome to attend and talk about the good things that the borough is doing.
Thursday, what time?
Thursday at 12:45.
Thank you, Taris.
Okay, and I think that's it. The last thing I want to say that my wife Heather and I had the opportunity to attend a really great event at the school last Wednesday. It was an Eradicate Hate event. It was put on by some of the school staff and the Stone Rocks Students Against Destructive Decisions. Really great group of young people to talk about, very forward thinking. And they're going to try to redo this event in April. They didn't get a chance to really promote it, but that is coming up. So I would really just want to get it kind of on everyone's radar that when they do it again, it's a really good group of kids and a really great presentation that they do. And I think it would be great if we really had the community come out and show their support for it. Last but not least, if those of you who have our email newsletter, You saw that we're working with a group called Food 21 to help us plan for creating restaurant opportunities in the downtown, primarily around a food hall concept next to the Roxy in a new building. We're working on finalizing the funding for that plan. But I know so many of us, that's a top concern, is how to bring restaurants to the downtown. It's a much more complicated process than one might think, and Food 21 is a subject matter expert, so we're really looking at working with them on this. And again, that's going to be a very community-centric planning process, so you're all going to be involved in that. And I think it's going to be really great for us and help pave the way for restaurant development here.
I can't wait.
We all can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Hey, Trish,
Yeah.
do you know what's going on down the old fruit stand under the crossing? I see they was working on it today, remodeling.
Right next to, yeah, they were down there doing some work.
Under the trestle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Was it the railroad?
Did you get anything?
No,
Did we get anything?
someone remodeling the inside. The old fruit stand used to be there back in the heyday.
Yeah, Joe, I don't know about what was happening there.
He was asking me too. I saw him out there too. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Hopefully something was there.
Amen. Any other questions, folks?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm not gonna mess up your name, but I am so excited about this. I am not gonna mess up your name. I'm just gonna introduce you as the great lady from WQED, and with some great news for us from McKees Rocks Community Day celebration, March 22nd, 25th. A request for use of space, the borough building, and possible road closure. Could you please introduce yourself? I don't want to mess up your name.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yes.
My name is Abha, so it's like the band, but just with an H in it. And you forget about my last name.
See, now you know where I was coming from, right?
My parents did me a favor by keeping my first name short. My name is Abha Vaishampayan. I am WQED's Learning Neighborhood Manager. It's just a fancy word for a public liaison for all the educational organizations on the west side of Pittsburgh. So, which is why I am working with libraries and other organizations such as like everybody who's working with the school district. I work with them as a liaison. We provide them educational materials. Today I'm here for a couple of things. So currently we are organizing the event that you talked about. It's called Be My Neighbor Day. It's in the spirit of Fred Rogers. We are trying to celebrate this every year. This year it's going to be in McKees Rocks. It is on March 22nd, Saturday, 11 to 1 p.m. And we are doing this in collaboration with Fred Rogers Production and PNC Bank, but this is very much a community-led event. So currently we have almost 21 organizations. Their partners have they have started planning the event. All the activities are currently being developed, like just minute by minute what's going to happen. We've had multiple meetings for that. And this is about celebrating McKees Rocks. It's cultural diversity, it's ethnic foods, history of the rocks, and most of all, the theme keeps coming up, resilience of people of McKees Rocks in the face of diversity. So we want to celebrate that. We want to shine a spotlight. WQED is going to do promos on their FM, on their broadcast before the event, and hopefully on the day of the event there's going to be photographers who will take some footage, and it's going to be televised on YouTube, not televised, my mistake. But currently we have all of this great things happening, but we have one hiccup, that we do not have space for Daniel Tiger to come in.
Oh,
the beloved Daniel Tiger.
Oh, you got space now. You got space now.
So I wanted to first invite you all to the event. Please come. It's happening at the Father Ryan Art Center just across the street. The entire building is going to be occupied with several organizations doing theater, arts, drama, historical societies putting up a display of different things. There's going to be documentary or a presentation. It's going to be very interactive, and we're excited about it. And so we would like this space for Daniel to come, especially because it has access to bathroom, and Daniel needs to take a break every 20 minutes. So otherwise, yeah, he's gonna hyperventilate, and I don't want to know what happens. And so that's my first request. And the second one is if we could block off the street between Father Reinhardt Center and this street so that public can walk and access this building.
Definitely all stuff that we've done before.
Okay.
I think that's not a bad ask at all. So what are you asking for? Are you asking to have like this room for the day for Daniel Taggart?
Impossible. Yes, LeeAnn also might volunteer to open this building for us, and there will be a stipend for if somebody from your office is actually working here on an off day. So we are going to be able to offer that within our grant, and so it won't be. Hopefully it won't be too much of a trouble for that person, and yeah, it'll be fantastic. Like if Daniel could come
What day
here.
is that? Is that a Saturday?
It's a Saturday. Yeah, 11 to 1 p.m. Is when Daniel is.
And John, you're dressing up as Daniel Taggart?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Well, everything else we will take care of. We don't have a venue for Daniel. That's it.
I don't see a problem with it. Does anybody here see a problem with it?
Do you need tables and chairs, or what would you set up? What would you require?
I think so. Usually, if there's Daniel, there's going to be line. So I think we might have to. If you have tape, that would do it. But I'm visualizing just like a couple seats for the families to sit while they're waiting in the line. But otherwise, it won't need anything.
Oh, so you would be actually using this space for people to come up and see Daniel Taggart?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Daniel is like 9 foot tall, so he basically stands in a corner. There's a person who basically has to tell him, Daniel is blind, like he doesn't even see. There's a person who's so short that he has tunnel vision. So there'll be one person standing by him, and then he just takes pictures and does agamaga, and that's it.
I love the idea.
Okay.
I love it. Yeah, you want to close the road? So I think at the road closure, you might have to send in a special written thing for that, I believe. Am I correct? LeeAnn?
I mean, I kind of noted it, that it was a.
Okay, so we could use that. I think we can vote on it today since it was on the agenda. Council, does anybody have a problem with that? No. I love the idea personally, I do. So can we take a vote now? All in favor?
I'm
Okay, sorry.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you so much for bringing us involved in this event. We really appreciate it.
This was Kim Rogers' idea.
Okay. Oh, Kim, thank you.
And
Thank
so
you very much.
I was so excited when she said that. And thank you so much.
No, thank you. We really
Yeah, and I
appreciate it.
hope you come out.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ms. Marybeth Taylor, concerns with community development.
I'm gonna do my hair.
First off, I want to say thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it. I know sometimes you probably see my name and roll your eyes and be like, oh no, here she is again. But I appreciate it. There's a lot of talk about different development that's going to be maybe going on, maybe not going on. I don't know if anybody here realizes there's a lot of big companies that are willing to come here. However, because of the fact of all the public housing that we've had in the past, they're very reluctant to bring their businesses here. I know, Allegheny County Housing is talking about rebuilding Hayes Manor, but it's not going to fit on the footprint. I did provide information that the property that Hayes Manor is currently on has been rezoned commercially. I provided information to Mr. President and to our solicitor showing that. So I really hope the council reinforces that that is no longer residential. When it comes to development, one of the important things to do is to ask yourself certain questions. Number one, beyond property taxes, how will this new development help McKees Rocks become a thriving community? If there's no answer for that, then there's really no place for it here in McKees Rocks. How will the people of McKees Rocks benefit from this development? How will the borough benefit from the development? And how will the agencies that are bringing these developments to the community going to benefit. I was on council for 12 years. I worked with a nonprofit for 8 years. I've been vested in things that are going around the country, and honestly, doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different outcomes is crazy. We can't let these types of developments continue to come in. People will call you racist because they feel that where you're against low income. I'm sorry, if you're gonna call me racist because you think I'm against low income, then you're racist because you're telling me that it's the minorities that are only low income. I've been low income all my life, so I have nothing against low income people. I just don't feel that this is how we're gonna build a prosperous community. You guys are all out there because you care for this town. You want to see it thrive. You want to see it do better. And I really urge you to ask yourself those questions anytime a development wants to come in. In July I was here, I talked about sending an email out to some of our local leaders, giving them names of companies that are looking to expand, that are looking for new locations, and I never got a response from any of those leaders. I was advised to send that information to the borough, and I was assured that they would look into it. I sent that information. I never even got an acknowledgement back that, hey, we got that and we're on it. I've offered my services to help attract these businesses. There's not much more that I can do without everybody else getting on board. You guys know I came in front of this board for 5 years because of a garbage issue that only affected my neighborhood. I'm retired. I have a lot of time to make phone calls, to meet with people. So if I'm willing to spend 5 years about a garbage issue that only affected my neighborhood, I'm here for a lifetime for things that are going to affect everybody in McKees Rocks. So I urge you guys, please. I talked to Michael Horvath, who is the head of HUD for our area. And he told me the buck stops here with our local elected officials. They can't put a stop to things. They need to know how. There's a lot of resources to be provided, and I'm happy to do whatever I can. But please, all this new development, think twice, because if it's not going to benefit the borough in a good way, then we need to say no. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Taylor.
Excuse me, I was told that legally, I don't think we can stop them for Hayes Manor. Now, outside Hayes Manor, yeah, we have a chance, but to stop them, I think they're in the domain bigger than ours. And they've been established down there ever since I can remember, back in the 60s. So for them to rip it down, rebuild it, I don't think we can stop them on that.
It's been rezoned, so yes, we can.
Legal said
with all due respect,
it's going to be a
we
hard
did have a
time.
meeting scheduled, and a lot of stuff happened during the holidays with my solicitor, and we never got to finish that to talk about that zoning. It is believed to be different than what you believed it to be. So we still have to have.
Did you get the documentation I provided to you?
Excuse me?
Did you get the documentation I provided to you?
Yes, and I have other documentation that we will talk about when we get to have that meeting. So we do have two different sides of documentation.
But again, Michael Horvath from HUD said, yes, you can stop it.
Well,
I'm more than happy to find ways for you to do so.
I just want you to know that we are looking into other things. Just because your phone hasn't rang, we've all been going through a lot of personal stuff. Maybe that's one of the reasons why the phone hasn't been ringing. But we are taking what you say very, very serious. At least I know I am. I can speak for myself. I am. And we will get that meeting with our solicitor, and we will try to iron out the differences and maybe we'll get on the same page. But thank you for bringing that up, Joe. And I do. I respect what you say, so thank you, Mrs. Taylor. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. You scared me. I was like, what did I miss? Okay, the great Matt.
Yeah, the great substitute.
Yes, the substitute teachers here, guys.
Yes, the class is in session. All you people.
Go ahead, Matthew.
All right. The engineer has a capsule report, which I believe Doug went over last week, so if it's all right with the borough, I'll skip ahead to new business.
New business, please.
All right, let's do new business then. All right. The point of this is for the borough to consider a motion of approval of a resolution to apply for a grant. We have been given an opportunity here to apply for a PA small water and sewer grant. You get to my write-up. All right, between last week and this week's meeting, the borough received a blessing from the county to apply for a PA small water and sewer grant. Grant applications will be accepted between February 3rd and April 30th. This is all in relation to the borough's ongoing efforts to clean and televise their sewer infrastructure. And during that cleaning, it was observed that 2 sanitary pipes located in relative close proximity, one on Davis Avenue, the other on the Fruitway, had severe structural damage. The damage was so severe that the inspection camera was not able to pass through the formed pipes. It was further observed that during these attempts to reverse the camera setup to proceed from the other end of the pipe, that there was no existing manhole to provide access. So, the plan is to proposes the excavation and repair of 2 damaged pipes in order to restore structural integrity. Afterwards, the installation of 3 precast concrete manholes will be performed to provide access for future maintenance. Work includes mobilization, bypass pumping, repairs, and repairs to whatever street needs to be done. So all in all, there'll be 3 48-inch diameter precast concrete manholes and 2 sewer pipe repairs, including the restoration of asphalt disturbed during excavation. Now we get down to the money aspect of it all. So the total estimated cost is $149,385. The grant will cover 85% of this. That would be a grant amount of $126,977. McKees Roxborough would be on the hook for a 15% contribution to this. Roughly $150,000 project. McKees Roxborough would be on the hook for $22,408. So
let me ask you this.
Yes. So the good news is we got invited to apply. We haven't applied yet. Applications are due and coming. There's a whole process. You have to apply to apply. So the good news is we got accepted. The bad news is that there's a 15% match on the project. The upside to this, if you're gonna go back the other way around, is that this grant will not be granted until late fall, which I would estimate to be October, November. This could potentially be a 2026 project, because the duration of the grant lasts for 2 years. So this is not a request for immediate action or immediate money. This is a request for the
upside too is what we talked about before, was the 15% is from the sewer fund. If you remember when we did the 15% with Fruitway, it was general fund. So this is a little bit different. So, and talking to Matt and Doug, and I apologize to intervene, is this project is not an emergency, but really needs to be done. Because it is pretty bad, just so everyone knows.
So it's connecting Davis to Fruitway?
Correct.
It's not an emergency to get it done right away?
It is not an emergency.
Not an emergency.
They're ticking time bomb type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're entirely collapsed and preventing sewage flow. They're just in shape. The camera couldn't get through. There's no access from the other side.
I gave you guys a map in my little printouts here so you can visualize the location. Because I know, you see Davis and Fruitway. Yeah. Really, you just want to see the spot location. So if you flip through, I've got a color map. So this is a location right as you come off the bridge into McKees Drops. And then the sheet thing behind would show the locations of the proposed manholes and the locations of the proposed spot repairs on it. I didn't print you out the monster size, 24 by 36. I figured it'd be a
We're okay.
But get out your readers, guys.
I got them, but I can't see it.
You got on the cheaters? Okay. So,
What happens if it does become an emergency? Can we use that money for something else if we have to fix it sooner?
are you talking about the grant?
Yeah, I mean, if this sewer blows up earlier than what we're into, you said it's not emergency right now.
No.
Will it become an emergency potentially if we have a big rain or anything?
It could, and that's the thing with infrastructure. It all works until it doesn't, you know, you can't tell, especially
Yeah.
with defects. Is that defect gonna be a problem tomorrow or a year from tomorrow? Or 10 years from tomorrow? Yeah, exactly. You just hope that.
Yeah.
The best case scenario is this is opening up now when we need it.
Absolutely, but
Yeah,
this is a
so we're gonna-
this is a preventative measure, this is taking preemptive action on something.
Okay.
And
You know,
15% is a lot better than paying 100% if it was an emergency.
But, I mean, if it did go into emergency, needed emergency
We'd have to
repair,
go to work.
and we repaired it,
We'd have to go.
out of emergency funds, can it be reimbursed by that grant?
No.
No, you can't do squat with us until you get the grant. So if it happened tomorrow, even if tonight a motion passed and this time bomb goes off tomorrow, no good, no good, they will not cover it.
That's the one thing about
They won't
grants
cover
is
it
we have
Until you get authorized that grant. You do anything before that.
What do we have to lose?
Yeah, let's go say prayers over it.
Yeah, so what do you need from us? You need a motion?
Yes, I'd like the motion.
I have one question on the financing. Is this one of those grants where we have to pay first to get reimbursed by the grant, or is it grant? Oh, okay.
Just like all the other grants.
Yes, it is.
So in 2025, very good question,
So
by the way.
we're paying the full 150 up front, or
You get back
getting
122.
back the 85%?
149, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be in stage payments, for example, like, that road, West Carson Street?
You mean multiple pay applications?
Yeah.
My guess is that these guys, if it is, it's only because the paving restoration aspect held them up for some reason, weather related.
Yeah.
This road, I think any reasonable contractor is gonna bust out no time.
Get it done.
Yeah, you're just gonna go in there.
So you think it's a one payout type
It's
deal?
a very, very good.
That would make these guys a lot happier than 5 different payouts, I would imagine, right?
Less paperwork to deal with. The problem is that you are there for the lump sum.
Well, that was a very good question, Mr. Beck, just so everyone does know that this is also something that we want to be proactive for. We definitely want to go for this grant, but we're going to have to wait maybe 3 to 6 months to get our money back, so there will be a little lapse in our general fund. Am I correct?
If we get the grant.
If we get the grant. But if we don't get the grant, we're still looking at bad pipes,
So if we don't get the grant, we're still on the hook, because it could be an
yeah,
emergency.
it's gonna.
We still need to fix it.
Good.
So we should apply for the grant.
Yes.
That's entirely up to you guys, but I view this as an opportunity to get 85% of something covered.
Yeah,
I
even if
know,
we have to do it
I know you
without money
guys
for a
spend
couple
money,
months.
you're not, or not, that you'd rather not spend, but if you were to do this on your own, it'd be $150,000 project. But it can be done for 20, roughly, rounding speaking. That
Yeah, I'll make
it
a
doesn't
motion
hurt
to-
anything to go for it, and just because a resolution is passed to apply, doesn't mean if something changes between now and then, that you've got to.
But it
All
still
right.
makes sense.
Question. This total, does that include an increase if it's a next year's project, or are we doing it at this year's cost? If it goes into next year, or we have enough funds to cover any cost increases incurred?
We do it at the bid, right? Once it gets bid is what we do, right?
Correct. Once it gets bid is what we do. The engineer's cost estimate probably is not going to differ greatly between now and then, depending. I know we had some inflation at some points that
Yes.
sent our estimates into like, oh my goodness, we change these every couple months. But this cost estimate is based off of current known prices.
So you didn't bump it up a little bit?
Did not bump it up.
Should we
can't. I mean, no offense, I get what you're saying, but in the conversation with them, I don't think that we can, because that was brought up.
No, we can't, from the standpoint of the application to apply is already been sent in.
Right.
Okay. So the estimate that was sent is what they are basing, the county is basing their willingness to go to bat in this grant for. And if we turned around and said, nah, never mind, we're going to tack 20% on it. They're gonna say,
I'm just
Future
looking for
reference, 20%.
You know, increases occur.
well, we always, at least I do, when I cost estimate, I tend to try and guess on the higher end of things.
That's what I wanted to
Simply
hear.
for the idea behind inflation. And secondly, it's the Scotty principle. If I say it's gonna take 2 weeks, then it takes 1 week, that's okay. But if I say 1 week, then it takes 2 weeks, then everybody's mad at me. So I generally try to factor in the inflation into estimates.
And if you look at all the grants that we've got that Matt and anyone from ours are doing, we usually work out on the good end of the price.
And that's due to our conservative approach and knowledge of prices.
All right, so do I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Matt, thank you very much. Anything else for us, sir?
That concludes engineer business. Thank you very much, guys.
Action items, nothing else, right? Okay. Police department.
Good evening. The January 2025 monthly activity report for the McKees Police Department. Calls for service were 454, incidents were 52, arrests were 15. There were 21 citations written, 20 of those were traffic, 1 was non-traffic. There were 14 borough parking tickets issued, no borough weight citations. There were 11 vehicles impounded. The LSAG ALPR attached to the vehicle. One of our patrol vehicles read 58,131 plates and hit on 4,676 alarms. Money turned over to the borough manager's office was $1,722.32. That was the magistrate's office disbursement for $680.47. There was 2 checks from the Allegheny County Courts Criminal Division totaling $801.85, and copies of police reports were $240.
Thank you, Chief.
I have a question. Have you been getting any complaints about that apartment building? I still call it St. Mary's School, behind the church.
It's, what's it called?
LeeAnn Manor?
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
because I've been hearing a lot of stories about that place.
I have not.
Do you have any calls there or anything?
We do occasionally, but not many. So if there's something going on, I would, request the residents to actually call us or come see us and tell us what's happening. Because we haven't, nothing out of the ordinary that, makes it seem like there's something going on. So if there is something going on, then we need to know.
Okay.
Anonymous tips off.
One other thing, the Canine Fundraising Committee met last week, and we decided to, obviously we're gonna have to do a continual level of canine fundraising. So on Sunday, April the 13th, from 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. at the VFW, we're gonna have a breakfast with the Easter Bunny. I don't know if LeeAnn has the tickets yet.
The printing.
No worries. But the cost is gonna be $10 for adults, $5 for children under 5. So we would like some assistance in selling those tickets and getting the message out there that this is happening. And also, as usual, we will probably need some level of assistance the day of the event.
Well, what time is that, Chief?
9 a.m. till 1 p.m.
Chief, on Lena Meyer, I know one of the residents said a bunch of kids were going through cars on church on from Saturday at 6 p.m. Mass.
Okay.
And he did call down here, so I would just ask if anyone has the time to like drive through that parking lot during Mass.
Okay, yeah, I unfortunately have been at training Monday and Tuesday, so I haven't read any reports since I left Friday at 3 o'clock, so
This
I
happened
will.
2 weeks ago, I think, or so. So, but you know, you just drive through because it does get dark back there.
No, absolutely.
Until it starts getting light again, and it's doing that now.
No, absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely, I will pass that on.
Yeah, I park there, so I don't want my car broken into.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Chief.
All right, thank you.
Code enforcement report. Want to give a summary real quick, LeeAnn? You want me to?
Mr. Thompson provided a written report for his activities and collections for, I don't know why it says December, it should probably say January to February, but we began receiving residential rental applications for 2025. We collected $21,672 so far. We also received some late fees from last year. He did 13 sale inspections, did 2 inspections just for rental and for the every 3-year rotation. We issued a couple permits. We sent out 21 violations and so far we received $1,100. We received a couple zoning applications. We did have a meeting with Craig McVicker at CEA, who most of you know is our third-party building code services. And Bobby is signed up for continuing education credits this year. Craig is the instructor, so that will give him his annual 15, I think they're called CEUs. So he'll get his education for this year completed. Total received $30,440.
Great job, great job. Volunteer Fire Department report. Mr. Stepek, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you too. Good to see everybody. Hope all are well. For the month of January, we had 24 calls for service. 5 fire alarms, they were all false. And 1 CO alarm was a defective detector. 3 smells of gas. Gas company, we called them in because we couldn't find the source, but it was there. They found the appliances bad. And we had 2 containment details. They were for gas leaks, gasoline leaks is what they were. And 4 vehicle crashes, 1 minor extrication. The other 3 were just cleanup after. They don't want to give up. Sorry about that. We had 2 service assists for to help the medics. 1 transformer explosion, 3 fire calls, with 1 being an actual fire and the other 2 good intent calls. 3 water conditions, which were all broken water pipes during a real cold snap that we had there. Going back to the house fire, on January 27th, I got my birthday present by getting up at 3:30 in the morning. Thank goodness it was, nobody was injured, nobody hurt. There was a fire on Harriet Street. There was pretty good damage to the rear of the building. There's an addition on there that that's where the fire was based at in the back there. Nobody was home at the time, and the fire marshal's investigating, the county fire marshal, but it was pretty evident that it was space heaters, being that there was no heat in the building, there was no gas. So they were relying on space heaters to keep warm. And if you go back and look at the calendar, it was pretty cold that day. Extension cords were used, it appears, which is as taboo as it gets. I'd like to remind everybody, tell your families, anybody you know, your neighbors, if you have to use a space heater, don't use an extension cord. plug it directly into the wall and make sure you don't have anything flammable next to it, you know, next to curtains, next to the bed sheets, you know, the pile of dirty laundry. We're seeing it all right now. It's a shame that, you know, with all the, because I heard it on the news several times about the space heaters, and still, excuse me, still people think, you know, it's okay for me to use an extension cord, and there's very, very few extension cords that are rated for a space heater, and guarantee you don't have one. That's about all I have. If anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
I have to leave for another meeting, so I really don't depart, but I have to today.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Chief,
All
how's
right.
your recruiting coming?
I'm sorry?
How's your recruiting coming? I know it was mentioned last time.
We had a couple of people that came down, and when you start talking about training and the time you're going to need, we're even looking at, you know, having people just to be there that are not going to be interior firefighters, so they only have to do a portion of the training, you know, and possibly be a driver or something like that. And it's tough. It's not. Nobody's knocking down the doors right now. So.
Just thought I'd ask.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay.
Public Works report, I'll give a quick summary. January 2025, 4 dye tests, 64 one calls. Salt treatment, guys were called out a total of 8 times in the month of January. Most of the time was after work was 2 days where we worked through the day to salt. We went through approximately 200 to 250 tons of salt. We salted the borough steps 3 times as well. We filled all salt boxes 2 times. Salted the sidewalks at borough building each time it snowed. Truck maintenance, we cleaned each truck once a week to get all the salt of the trucks due to the weather and the amount of work we did, thanks to Joe Mixture. We changed the oil truck in truck 103 and got 3 trucks and bucket truck inspected, and one more that will need to be inspected in March. Potholes were filled. Pothole areas were Charters Avenue, Church Avenue, Robb Street, Helen Street. I want to give a special thank out to Tim Bazemore. He also helped with what's the name of the movie again? Mayor Kingstown. He helped them out too. And they, you know, they're going to pay for it, but they needed something. And Tim came out when he was working the overtime and filled a couple holes for him. Also filled those large holes that sunk due to water main breaks that the water company did not come back to fill after they sunk. We installed a new riser rings that were purchased for Neville Alley, 4 of them. We also took all the Christmas decorations down as well as removed the tree. This was a month where we could get a lot of work done due to weather-related activities such as salting roads in extremely cold weather. We look to get back on the litter and doing more potholes in February.
They do a great job on our roads.
I think they do great. Yes. Thank you for saying that, because I think they have to do great. I really do.
Yeah.
And they go underappreciated, but I think they do.
Not by me.
No, not by none of you guys.
Yeah.
No one up here, no one, even the residents are very good too, but as a general, people like that, they get.
We have our salt coming? We have enough?
Yeah, we did good. It was really good. LeeAnn was on top of it, and yeah. We get worried when it snows because it goes out quicker than it comes in, but she ordered like 400 tons at one point, so when it stopped snowing for a couple of days, we were getting salt. We're like, what are we gonna do with it? What are we gonna do with it? But it's all good. We did a good job on that.
Good job, yeah.
The mayor's report.
All right, thank you. As always, thank you everybody for being here. I would like to reiterate some of the things that were said already, just so that they make it to the internet. March 22nd will be Won't You Be My Neighbor Day in McKees Rocks. We heard about that. We're going to use my office for Daniel. Please, if you can be around for that, please be around for that. I believe 11 to 1. Also, we'll be doing another fundraiser for the K-9 unit, April 13th, breakfast with Easter Bunny at the VFW. Dovetailing on what we were just talking about the salt and all that kind of business. I hear two things when I tell people to call 911 when they have a problem in the borough. I hear either, they don't do nothing, or I hear, I don't want to bother them with something like this. The first thought is nonsense. If you think somebody whose job it is to do something isn't doing something, then by all means, get your complaint on record, call 911, so when they don't do something, it's there, because that's not true, they do. Secondly, if your thought process is, I don't want to bother them with something like that, please recognize that this is the system we have. You can call somebody you know at the borough, you can make 30 phone calls to somebody on council or somebody or me, but there is absolutely no guarantee that the 911 operator is listening to that and recording the conversation and going to get that information where it needs to go. So if you're in this borough and you have a problem with, say, snow on your hillside, call 911 rather than thinking I'm just going to call somebody I know and get it done the old-fashioned way, because the old-fashioned way sometimes doesn't work. So, whether it's something small or something big, we have a system. Use it. Dial 911. Don't think that just because you got my number or you got somebody on council's number, you're just going to shake a stick and get something done. That is simply not the way it works. We are failable. I'm a flawed human being. I won't get it right all the time. Dial 911 if you have an emergency. Stop trying to do something different because you think it's a better way. We got a way it's done. Do it that way. Follow the chain of command. Please don't waste anybody's time anymore with emergencies that aren't emergencies, especially if I don't even hear about them, but somehow they're emergencies. So please, if you have an emergency, call 911. Apologies, rant is over about that. Moving on to some nicer things. Says it on the seal of the United States, e pluribus unum, of many, right? Of many to one. This great democracy that we live in, that I'm so proud to be the mayor of this tiny little town in this great commonwealth that's part of this great democracy, right? Of many, one, right? So I would ask anybody in this room, tell me what's so damn scary about diversity? What's so scary about equity? What's so scary about inclusion? I don't think there is anything scary about any of those things. You know there's nearly 8 languages spoken in McKees Rocks right now? Did you know that the United States doesn't even have a national language? It's African American History Month right now. That's important to me because that's not a history I lived. That's a history I had to learn. That's my American history that I had to learn because it wasn't being taught in my house. But you know what was being taught in my house? That I would never catch any guff for going to Kennywood on Polish Day wearing my Bet Your Dupa I'm Polish hat. It's African American History Month, which is American history. I would encourage you to embrace that and learn a little bit about it. Damar Hamlin is African American history. So is Marlene Banks. And so is all kinds of other things that are our collective history. I ask you to embrace it. I have great hopes and aspirations for our borough. I have great hopes and aspirations for our nation. I'm counting on all of us in this community to live up to what America can and should be. My door is open. I'm waiting for any of you to come tell me what's so scary about diversity, equity, or inclusion. That's the mayor's report for this month.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, that's luxury.
Can I have the borough manager?
Yes, you have a garbage report in your packet provided by Kelly. We're at a 61% collection rate from changing to quarterly. We're still getting calls of people that have no idea that we even bill right now. So I'm still trying to find other ways to get this information out. We did send out last month about 190 delinquent letters for residents who have not paid their garbage bill at all. This week we are now writing summons for non-traffic citations to get some coordinating scheduled. But we are starting to get some delinquent collections in. It's just, I don't know, some people are calling and they still don't know who bills them for garbage. So, I know, and it's been almost a year. So yeah, it's a kind of a uphill battle. Also, in your packet, I think we discussed this back in December about upgrading our Comcast internet from our current service to a fiber optic connection, which, what?
Yes, we did.
Okay, which would provide us a sole connection. We would be the only ones on this connection. So Comcast is saying we're 99.999% interruption free, and I believe council voted to move forward. I did a little bit more digging with that because I wasn't solely sold on everything is for free. And I talked to our IT department as well. And lo and behold, there is a installation charge between Comcast, which is minimal, but we have an installation fee due to them for $199, and then Paul Jackson's service to make that connection and provide us with the extra materials is about $800. So I'm just letting council know that if we do go forward with this change, there's an additional $1,000 that will be paid out of the general fund. Not in that? For the connection and the supplies and IT to be here on site whenever we need to make that changeover.
Something that's needed though, it's something that we already
Yeah, I
said.
mean, chief, they go down a lot more than we do, but above and beyond like the monthly charge increase, which was I think like $250 a month, there's gonna be an upfront charge of about $1,000 to do it. Any opposition?
No opposition here. Any opposition, council?
Should we make a motion?
Yeah. Thank you. I always ask that, let it know. Usually you want to use to always make a motion.
I'll make
And I
a
bag it.
motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, lady.
Chief, you're good with that, right?
Connectivity is good.
Sooner the better?
Anything else, LeeAnn?
No, we already got contacted by Attorney's office to start the 24 audit, so.
Lucky you.
Yeah. Can't
Lucky
wait.
you. Lucky you. Borough Solicitor.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
I would request a motion to approve Borough Ordinance number 1785, which is in relation to the sewer tap and fee requirements.
I'll make a motion.
I'm saying that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your work with that.
No problem. One matter of new business, I would ask for you to consider a motion to approve a fee agreement to hire a zoning hearing board solicitor, and a letter is enclosed in your packet which indicates the rate per hour of the firm that will be doing it.
And we will be calling her as a need-to basis. When we need her, that's when she will be here. Or him.
Yes.
So everyone knows. She
Well,
won't-
will
she
they
won't
be at
able
every
to-
zoning meeting then, I assume?
Unless it's like a not an important zoning meeting to where it's like something that's explained, like something that's not, that you need an attorney.
Like
tomorrow
the
she
fence
will be
thing.
there.
Like the fence thing, the last hearing, we didn't need an attorney for.
Yeah, there's gonna be some things,
You
yeah.
have the discretion to invite your solicitor as a general matter for things that you deem necessary and important. So for example, as your general solicitor, I attend some meetings in the borough where Megan might,
Right.
and there are many that occur where we're not included. And so they would have the authority and the ability to request that solicitor's presence when they feel it's necessary. But I think what President Brinson was saying is if they are requesting that the solicitor be available, that is a communication that's gonna go through President Brinson or.
Excuse me.
Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Anything else? Anything else? All right, can I get the approval of meeting minutes, a motion to approve voting minutes for January 20th, 2025?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Controllers report, Mr. Beck.
All right, Controllers report for January, general fund, income and expenses have an annual budget of $5,132,848. As of January 31, income was $245,736.37, or 4.8% of the budgeted income. Expenses were $313,386.92, or 6.1% of the budgeted expenses. Balance in the general fund, January 31, $1,149,703.28. In the sewer fund, income and expenses have an annual budget of $2,422,000. As of January 31, income was $133,533.64, or 5.6% of the budgeted income. Expenses were $8,632.80, or 0.4% of the budgeted expenses. As of January 31, balance in the sewer fund, $1,286,167.09. Balances in the other accounts, CSX, $471,708.74. I'd like to remind council again that we still have outstanding reimbursements of over $300,000 into that account. We do not know when that money's coming. It's outstanding for several months now. That's why I asked that question when the engineer gave that report on the grant for that sewer up on Fruitway in Davis. This is always a big concern for our cash flow. Liquid fuels, we have a balance of $21,966.58. LeeAnn submitted our liquid fuels report for last year, so we should be getting our new allocation for this year, probably in 6 weeks.
Less than that, I think it's March
All
3rd,
right.
I believe.
All right, that's, so by the beginning of March, so that'll be coming in. All right, that's the controller's report for January.
Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion to approve the paying of the bills?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public Safety Committee, nothing right now. Finance Administration Committee, motion to hire Borough Employee number 3144 as full-time administrative assistant, retro start date of 2/10/25.
Motion.
All in favor? All opposed? Real Estate Committee, proper donation letters of 1133 Churches Avenue and 316 Campbell Street. Can I have, I would like to table that until March, please. Like I told council, I was doing look into that, and I will not bring it to this until that work's done, so we have an answer. Like I said, I don't want to accept something that we're gonna accept that responsibility for.
I'll make a motion to table.
Okay. All in favor? All opposed? Thank you, council. Public Works Committee, we pretty much hit it on the report. Borough Association, Mr. Myers is not here. COG, Mrs. Holland.
Next meeting's at Stowe, next Thursday, but nothing more to report.
Borough Development, Mr. Myers is not here. Codification, Mr. Corey.
Nothing to report.
Parks and Restoration, Mr. Mixture.
Nothing.
Good meeting, thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.